this one. Geez, the leg room gets any smaller, I'm not going to even be able to get in this dang on thing. Get this out of my seat. Jeez, these damn things are smaller than ever. Hey, welcome to your in-flight fitness routine. As you can see, I happen to obtain a luxury business class seat today as opposed to the cramped little coach style seat that I had to ram my bag under. And these days, you know, with everyone bringing 10,000 carry-ons because they don't want to check bags for the $25 a piece fee, it takes forever to get everyone onto the plane, adding to your frustration. However, when you get on the plane, there are some things you can do to make yourself feel somewhat better, physically speaking, during your cramped, and we know it's going to be cramped no matter what they tell you, ride to your next destination. First of all, you'll see I'm wearing some workout clothes. I would say if you're not required to wear fancy corporate outfits, you should wear something comfortable, because guess what? Who wants to sit in a cramped airplane seat for 2, 3, 4 hours, even an hour when you're wearing some suit, and we all know it's hot in the airplane, the air sucks, it's pretty much stale, and unless you're on one of these early morning 6 a.m. Burbank flights, you're never going to have plenty of space. On the other hand, if you're forced to wear nice clothes, you can still do this stuff. So as soon as they tell you to bring your seat backs and tray tables into the upright and locked position and turn off all electronic devices, then that's the point when you can potentially start settling in and maybe doing a few little exercises. If it's in the morning and it's a vacant flight, some of these may be a little bit better suited. If you're cramped and there's somebody next to you and you're like, dang it, why do I always have to get stuck next to a fat person who should buy 2 seats? These might not work as well, and people might get a little suspicious of your movements. However, if you're on an open flight, you can probably do some of these that you wouldn't otherwise do. So with your legs, if you watch, you can just lift and lower up onto your toes to get some blood flow, because remember, you don't want any pulmonary embolisms or blood clots going to your lung and killing you due to sitting too long in the airplane. You can do calf raises, just normal tightening, which I know this isn't very visible, but you'll see my legs moving. And then you always want to get an aisle seat if you can. That way you have easy access to constantly get up and move around. Of course, your chair's not going to pivot like this, but if you had a luxury liner and you're in first class, maybe you'll get a pivoting seat, but I doubt it. You can straighten out your legs, stretch. I do this all the time in the aisle, always stretching out, moving my back. One thing is just sitting up. You start to slouch because it's so uncomfortable in the plane, because I'm not even that tall, and you still can't really put your head back in the seats very well, and they're much more upright and locked than this chair is. Then you could also do some shoulder rolls back, just kind of tighten your shoulder blades. You can always do some neck turns. Now, you got to kind of be careful, if there's a lot of people, they might start thinking you're a weirdo if you're doing this, gawking at them, tucking your chin, doing it sideways. Now, if you're in an early flight, and you don't have anyone else in your row, you can do some stretches across, like this. You can even reach up, pretend like you're trying to reach up and see if you're going to be able to grab your bag in the overhead bin from a seated position. Stretch out. Maybe reach over, adjust the neighbor's fan, assuming you put on some deodorant so you don't gas them out with your wonderful airplane body smell in the morning. Or, as one of my clients mentioned, airplane hair. Hey, I don't even have to style it after being on the airplane because it's so full of grease and oil and some nice fake humidity that you'll look good. Move your arms like this. Clench and open your fingers. You might want to be subtle about how you do this. You know, you probably don't want to go to the side too much. If you're really daring and the flight's pretty open, you can do some modified dips, seat dips. I wouldn't probably do a ton of reps, but you know, you could do it. Now I wouldn't put my feet across the aisle and try to do some dips that way or any extensive things. But if you're on an early flight, you could actually even put your leg up across the row if it's empty. Do a little stretching this way, so on and so forth. Then the key is getting up and walking around. So you want to be getting up and walking around quite a bit. I've heard some people say that they just sit on airplanes, don't drink any water, never move the whole flight. That is absolutely not good for you. You'll feel like crap once you get to your location. If you're not already irritated by all the people in the plane, you know, screaming kids, people that constantly have to be, you know, running back and forth, bumping into you. That's why you want to sit in the aisle if you want to get up, because otherwise you're going to annoy the heck out of everyone in your row if you're constantly climbing over them every 30 minutes or so. So, you want to get up. You know, by the way, the aisle armrest, it does come up on most planes, so that will allow you to spin out easily. And you can even just stand right by your seat. Just do some toe raises up onto your toes a little bit. You can do some subtle stretches off the airplane seat braces on the bottom for your calves. Do a little bit like that. Just, you know, stand there, move around a little bit, walk to the back. I like to stand at the back and just, you know, get out of the way, don't block the aisle, but just stand back there and hang out. And you can even do some stretches, you know, maybe off the chair in the back. That is, you might be able to do a little bit of stretching that way. Kind of pull your shoulders back, roll your head around. You know, if you're really adventurous and you don't mind people asking you questions, you can even stretch your thighs by bringing your leg up. You notice my swiveling airplane seat? I don't think you're going to find that on your Southwest flight, but it works well for what I'm trying to show you. And the other leg. And hey, if you want to do some balance activities, just stand on one leg, because if you get some serious turbulence going on, you know, you might need to have some core stability. Grab onto the magazine holder in the back with the little bar, and make sure you move around. Drink beverages. If you drink beverages and eat snacks, like I told you to bring snacks, which, by the way, the snacks you should bring, like nuts. You could bring fruit like apples. Yeah, you probably don't want to bring bananas and stuff unless you're going to eat them right away, because you put that in your bag and carry on and it's going to get pretty nasty and squished all over the place. So I wouldn't advise that. But apples, dried fruit potentially, nutrition bars. If you're not allergic to tree nuts, like some people I know are, then you could do a Perfect Foods bar from Whole Foods. Very good, plenty of calories, all organic. It doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. A couple different varieties, and you know, Bring your water, like I said, drink it before you go through security, refill your bottle, or buy a bottle once you get through, and then continuously drink throughout your trip. You should drink about a half a liter an hour, I would say minimum, so you're not dehydrated when you get there. Otherwise you're going to get there, you're going to feel like garbage, you're going to have to go to the restroom, and you're going to eat anything you see as soon as you get into the airport, which will probably be A, junk, B, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I mean, who wants to pay $15 to eat at Chili's in an airport? I mean, we're not talking about high quality food in some of these places. Now, some places in California have healthy food, but most airports, most places, the food's a pretty shady proposition for the most part. So bring your own food, bring your own water, move around in the plane, and you'll be well on your way to combating the extreme stress of air travel. Stay tuned for more about what to do once you get on the ground.